Hello, Maths for Thursday. Continuing with our investigation of patterns in algebra. Yesterday we had solving problems using the order of operations part 1 and this is part 2. So it's more practice, more of our applying conventions when solving problems that contain those multiple operations. So this lesson will help consolidate your understanding of these conventions and that we use when calculating expressions containing multiple operations. So remember those conventions that we've been talking about. All right, so for exercise 1, calculate the answer to each of the expressions. And then if you look here down the first column, there's no brackets, so it says without brackets. Then when we add the brackets, there are times when that will affect the answer and there are times when it will not. Do the brackets change the answer, yes or no? So the first one's done. 6 times 3, add 2. By our conventions, we do the multiplication first. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. When we add brackets, we're changing the order in which these operations must be done. No longer is it the multiplication done first, the brackets tell us we have to do the addition first. 3 add 2 is 5, 6 times 5 is 30. Did the brackets change it? Yes, indeed it did. Work through each of these examples and determine whether the brackets have changed the answers. Pause the video and work through that now for me. All right, let's have a look. 7 times 4 times 2. 7 fours are 28, times 2 is 56. Working left to right because it's multiplication repeated. In this one, 4 times 2 is 8, 7 times 8 is 56. Did it change it? No, it did not. Now, early on in the week, we learned that repeated multiplication can be done in any order and not affect the outcome, just like with addition. However, we did learn that that changes with subtraction. So 12, take 5, and then take away another 4, leaves us with 3. 12 take 5 is 7, 7 take 4 is 3. In this one, where brackets are done first, 5 take 4 is 1, 12 take 1 is 11. Did it change it? Yes, it did. All right, 36 times 2 and then divided by 2. I wonder how many of you worked out that if you multiply by something, something by 2 and then divide it by 2, you're going to end up with where you started because you're just undoing what you had just done. In this case, brackets first, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 36 times 1, 36. No change there. I think you would have found, and we'll have a look at the last one where division comes first, but maybe division first might have made an effect there. All right, I predict this one is going to be similar to the second one because we said repeated multiplication can be done in any order, as can repeated addition. Let's see if I'm right. 45 is the result of that. 45 is the result of that. No change. Now, just because I've noticed it, I'm going to tell you something else. When there are 3 numbers, and those 3 numbers are in order, we call them consecutive numbers. 14, 15, 16 is 3 consecutive numbers. Now, what you might notice is 3 lots of 15 is 45. So 15 is repeated. Well, it's not really repeated, but it could be. If I took 1 away from 16, gave it to 14, then I'd have 15, 15 and 15, 3 15s are 45. That sort of idea comes into play when we're talking about average and so forth. If I said, what's the average of those 3 numbers? Because they're 3 consecutive numbers, it's the middle one. Anyway, that's something a little extra and getting away from what we're doing here. Let's have a look at the next one. We need to do the division first because division has greater capability or is more powerful than addition according to our order of signs. So 27 divided by 3 is 9, 9 plus 6, 15. Here though, we had to add first because of the brackets. 27 divided by 9, 3. Did it change? Yes, it did. How'd you go there? Hope your understanding is coming along beautifully and you're getting these very much correct. All right. Similar to an exercise yesterday, you have to circle the operations that should be calculated first in the expression. So you don't really even need the answer, just circle the operation that needs to be done first. All right, pause the video and whip through that exercise. It shouldn't take you very long at all. Okay, so there they are. Division before addition. Division before any of those others. Why division is done before multiplication is because left to right. Multiplication before addition, multiplication again, and this one contained division. It has to be done first. All right, now let's have a look at what it says here. It's quite a lengthy expression here that actually contains 5 operations. Multiplication, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and subtraction again. So the 5 times 4 has to be done first because it is on the left. The other stronger sign, multiplication here, is 2 times 2, so that's done second. Now the 20 I obtained here is added to the 5 here to give me 25. We've already got a result of this part that came to 4, so we're taking away 4. Back to 21, and the fifth and final part, take the 3 to take us to 18. So even in a very complex expression that contains 5 operations or even more, we should be able to track through it and work out the order of signs. All right, some practice in that for you. You do need to write down for me, just like in the similar situation, what goes in each pot and the final answer. Okay, so in A, there are 6 operations. In B, there's only 5. In C, there are 6, my apologies. Pause the video and see how you go with this task. All right, we're back. Let's check your work. First, the division. Second should be the multiplication. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. There's the multiplication, 5 3s, 15. Now we're going back from left to right. Let's have a look. 12 take 3, 9. 9 take 2. Now you might think, where's the 2 come from? Remember, the 2 was the result of this one, this first one here. So we're sitting at 7. Now remember, we've already found the result of this one, which is 15. So we're going to add 7 to 15 to take us to 22. Add the final 5 to take us to 27. So indeed, our answer is 27. Let's have a look at this one here. Brackets first. So the result of those brackets is 56. Working to the next one, divided by 8, gives us 7. Then we should go over here, 3 4s are 12. So now we've got 7 at this end, 12 at this end, and the plus 9 that we haven't done yet. So let's add that 9 to get 16. Add that 12 that we got from here to get to 28, which is our final answer. If you're getting these right, you're doing really well. It's all about practice. So practice makes perfect. If you haven't got these right at this stage, you might even like to have another go and check your working here. So if you want to pause and recheck your working with these on screen, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm going to continue. So I'm going to tell you that there's 2 multiplications which need to be done first and then second. 9 times 5, 45. 4 times 6, 24. So we've done those 2 operations and now we're moving on to these ones. 3 and 7 at the beginning is 10. Then we've got to add the result of this. So it should be 10 plus 45. Now we're up to here. So we're up to 55. And I imagine we're going to add that 24 in. Yes, we did. 79 we're up to. The last thing is to add in the final 3, 82. And there's our final answer. How did you go? Hopefully you went well. One last exercise, and this one might take you a while. The only numbers you're allowed to use in these boxes are those numbers there, 3, 4, 5, 12, and 15. The operations are given to you here. If you are looking at this sheet, just check F says divide, because in an earlier printout I did, I had a times there, and that needs to be changed to divide. So just double check if you've got the right thing there. All right, so only those, and you're only allowed to use each number once in each of those sentences. So pause the video while you try to work through those and see how you go. All right, good luck. Okay, you're back. That was a bit of hard work, even if you had to give up part of the way through because they proved a bit difficult. I hope you got quite a few of them done though. Let's check our answers. Did you come up with 3, 4, and 5? Now it doesn't matter if they're in a different order. If you had 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 5, whatever order, it's still going to give you 12, isn't it? For the others, it's probably going to make a bit of a difference though. Let's check. This one works because 3 times 4 must be done first. 3 fours are 12. 12 plus 12, 24. Here, subtraction before addition. So if you went 15, take 12, that's going to give you 3. And if you add 4 more on, that'll give you 7. Multiply before add. 3 times 5 is 15. Add another 15, 30. You've got to end up with 0 here. So times is first. So whatever you're multiplying here, you're then going to have to take away the same amount. You know what? I'm looking at this one, and I think that might suit. 3 times 4 is 12 minus 12, but I wonder if you went 3 times 5 minus 15. That's another answer. So either that, 3 times 4 minus 12, or 3 times 5 minus 15. Both will give you 0. In this one here, the divide has to be done first. That looks a little strange, but if you do the division first, 12 divided by 4 is going to give you 3. 3 minus 3 equals 0. Similarly, what would happen if you had 15 divided by 5? That also comes to 3, and then 3 minus 3 would also give you 0. Another answer that's correct. All right, plus to come to 31. You're probably going to have to use quite big numbers here. So I imagine 12 and 15 are involved. Yes, they are. 12 and 15 is 27. Add 4, 31. 63, but we're multiplying to build us up there. 5 12s are 60. No, silly me. 5 15s are 75. Minus 12 is 63. I nearly thought 5 12s are 60, but that would have had to be in a plus. There's one way to make 63. Plus, then take either, left to right. 5 plus 15 is 20. 20 minus 4 is 16. Wouldn't matter if you had 15 plus 5. Same answer, same idea. And lucky last, multiplying and then adding this time. So we need to be less than 50. So I wonder what we multiply here that's less than 50. Well, 3 15s are 45. Add 5, 50. It was an exercise in practicing the operations and the conventions for those operations for the order in which they need to occur. All right. Hopefully you did well. How did you go? guys, that's done. That is the end of our online lessons for maths. You've got a science lesson to go tomorrow, but otherwise, all over. And the next maths you'll be doing will be back at school next week. All right, looking forward to seeing you then. Okay, guys, see ya.